There are people who move through the world with a strange and persistent feeling that never fully leaves them. It can appear in classrooms, family gatherings, friendships, workplaces, relationships, even in rooms where nobody is being openly cruel. On the surface, everything may look normal. They are present, they speak when necessary, they smile at the right times, they learn how to adapt. And yet, beneath all of that, there is often a quiet thought that follows them from place to place. A thought so subtle that many of them never say it out loud, even to themselves. I am here, but I do not feel fully inside this. I am included, but not completely connected. I am surrounded, but not rooted. And over time, this creates a very specific kind of loneliness. Not the loneliness of having no people around you, but the loneliness of never fully feeling claimed by the spaces you enter. It is the experience of being physically present while emotionally standing just outside the invisible line where belonging seems to happen naturally for everyone else. Most people misunderstand this feeling completely. They assume that if someone never feels like they truly belong, then the problem must be low confidence, poor social skills, or insecurity. But for many people, that is not the real issue at all. In fact, some of the people who feel least connected are often the ones noticing the most. They walk into a room and immediately begin reading tone, energy, posture, voice changes, emotional shifts, who is comfortable, who is pretending, who has power, who is being tolerated, who is being ignored. While others simply enter the moment, these minds begin decoding it, and the more they decode, the harder it becomes to relax into the group naturally. Belonging usually requires a certain emotional surrender, a willingness to flow with the atmosphere without over-examining every signal. But some people do not work that way. Their minds do not stop at the surface. They sense the hidden structure beneath the interaction, and because of that, they often feel the gap between themselves and everyone else long before anyone notices it on the outside. This often begins much earlier than people realize. Many who never feel like they truly belong did not learn connection in an environment that felt emotionally safe, stable, or intuitive. Maybe they grew up around unpredictability. Maybe they learned to observe before speaking. Maybe they discovered early that fitting in required reading the room carefully, adjusting constantly, and becoming whatever version of themselves created the least friction. When that happens, belonging stops feeling natural and starts feeling conditional. It becomes something you earn through adaptation rather than something you experience through ease. And when a person spends enough years surviving that way, they can become incredibly skilled at blending in without ever feeling internally settled. They know how to participate, but not how to rest. They know how to be accepted, but not how to feel held. They know how to avoid rejection, but not how to feel real while doing it. So even when life becomes safer later, the nervous system may still carry the old question everywhere it goes. Do I actually belong here, or am I just performing well enough to remain included? That is why this pattern can become so confusing. From the outside, these people may look socially functional, intelligent, even calm. They may have friends, relationships, jobs, routines, and still carry a private sense of emotional distance that never fully dissolves. They can laugh with others and still feel separate. They can join the group and still feel slightly misaligned with its rhythm. They can be loved and still quietly wonder whether they are truly known. This is what makes the psychology of not belonging so difficult to explain. It is not always dramatic. It does not always announce itself as pain. Sometimes it appears as chronic self-monitoring, sometimes as emotional restraint, sometimes as the habit of never fully relaxing around people, even kind people, sometimes as a tendency to leave interactions feeling more tired than connected. And sometimes it becomes the silent belief that there must be something fundamentally different about the way your mind works, because everyone else seems to enter social spaces with a kind of ease that always feels just out of reach. But here is where the story changes. The people who never feel like they truly belong are often not empty of connection. They are overloaded with perception. They are not cold, they are careful. They are not detached because they feel nothing. They are detached because they feel too much and trust too slowly. What looks like distance is often protection. What looks like indifference is often deep internal processing. What looks like disinterest is sometimes the mind pausing to make sense of signals other people move past without noticing. And this creates a painful paradox. The very trait that makes them feel separate in loud, fast, performative environments is often the same trait that allows them to form profound connections in the right spaces. In one-on-one conversations and honest moments, in emotionally slower environments, these people often become deeply insightful, warm, and unusually perceptive. They do not connect quickly with everyone, but when they do connect, they often do it with a depth that many others never reach. Their belonging does not happen everywhere, but when it happens, it feels real. This is why trying to force yourself to belong everywhere usually makes the feeling worse. Not every environment is built for depth. Not every group is designed for sincerity, reflection, or emotional precision. Some spaces reward speed, performance, humor, confidence, and social immediacy. And if your natural rhythm is more inward, more observant, more thoughtful, more emotionally exact, those spaces can make you feel wrong when you are simply different. The mistake is believing that belonging means being comfortable in every room. It does not. Some people are not meant to feel at home in noise. Some people are not designed for quick social chemistry. Some people do not bloom in performance-based environments. They bloom in spaces where there is slowness, trust, honesty, and room to exist without constant adjustment. So if you have spent your life feeling like you never truly belong, the answer may not be that something is broken in you. The answer may be that your mind has always been looking for a form of connection deeper than what most environments know how to offer.